I have been working on the Declaration of Independence for over a decade now, and I started in the museum and civic education spaces. So, really talking to the public, getting a sense of what questions people had or what assumptions people had about the Declaration of Independence. And then my real motivation for the book came with finishing up grad school and staring down the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So, wanting to get my perspective on the Declaration out in time for the anniversary, and also to get people to think back 250 years to what the Declaration of Independence was in 1776 before anyone knew what was going to happen, if the United States would survive, or what the legacy and the impact of the Declaration would be across so many generations of people, both in the United States and around the world. The research for the book took about 10 years. The writing began with my dissertation in graduate school at William and Mary, and then quickly turned around from the dissertation to the book. And so it ended up being a couple of years with breaks in between, which were really helpful to kind of take a step back and then revisit and figure out what are the pieces of the puzzle that are still missing, where are the stories that can still be amplified. I was also working on the book at the same time that I was curating museum exhibitions featuring some of the objects that are in the book. So it was really terrific to see the things that I describe in the book kind of come off the pages and onto the walls of museums for people to see. I always come back to Pauline Mayer's book, American Scripture. I think it's one of those iconic books about the Declaration of Independence and also her approach to kind of taking the Declaration off of its pedestal and thinking about it in a context that's different than most Americans tend to think about the Declaration has been super inspirational to me. I wish she was around to be able to advise me on this book, but I definitely have kind of kept her spirit going with this book. One of the quotes that I continually come back to is she talks about the drafting of the Declaration of Independence as a puzzle for which we may never have all the pieces. And I think that concept of not all of the copies of the Declaration survive is really hard for people to get their heads around. So when I describe it as a puzzle for which we may never have all the pieces, something clicks and people understand that we can make a lot out of the surviving material sources, but we're never going to have the full, complete picture as if we were to time travel back to 1776 and see what actually happened. My biggest piece of advice for aspiring authors is to talk about your topic with other people. I think one of the biggest benefits to the book was going out and talking to students and teachers and retirement communities and all sorts of different audiences, getting their questions, and then having that inform the book. So I could understand where people are coming from with a topic that is so ingrained in the American consciousness as the Declaration of Independence. And I could step back as an expert and really think about what are the pieces of information that I need to present? How can I present them in a way that will capture people's attention? What are the stories that people are really interested in or responding to well? So definitely find every opportunity you can to talk about your topic.